My 28 male, girlfriend, 23 female, has abandoned me 2 days after I've had a major surgery. My 28 male, girlfriend, 23 female, has abandoned me 2 days after I've had a major surgery. We live together, and I just had a full hip replacement surgery 2 days ago. She has an extreme addiction to smoking dabs. It's all day, every day, from the moment she wakes up to when she goes to bed. Every hour blowing down multiple dabs, unless she's sleeping. She needs to stop anyway because of an impending drug test in the next couple of months, but at this rate, she's gonna fail it anyway and she doesn't seem to care. Due to the fact that I'm 28 with a hip replacement, I'm kinda bedridden at the moment. I have to use a walker any time I try to stand up or use the bathroom. She just stormed out of the house and left me alone to fend for myself because I don't care about her pain from withdrawals. Her pain is at a 12 inches. I'm having some trouble finding it in me to try to console her this time, considering 2 days ago my leg was cut open and a large chunk of my femur bone was cut out of my body and replaced with metal, plastic. I've even tried texting someone who we usually get it from, and who is usually reliable. But it's been the runaround of, "Oh, tomorrow," which has been the same response for the last 6-7 days now. But somehow I'm in the wrong for letting her go through this pain, because she hasn't been able to smoke for the last 3-4 days. So here I am, alone in the house and barely able to sit up out of bed, on Reddit, wondering how I'm the bad guy for not caring enough about her drug addiction and how I'm unable to make drugs magically appear at the front door. Has anyone dealt with a partner who has drug addiction issues and was able to overcome it? Has anyone gone through something similarly or could offer advice on how to handle a drug addict partner? Edit. There are kids involved. My family has been watching them primarily for the last 2-3 days. She eventually came back after a few hours, argued in person, slammed doors throughout the house, and then went on a texting rampage about how I don't care or actually love her. Then deleted her Facebook and IG. And then proceeded to tell me to call with any emergency. She's been texting me like a lunatic all night. She always does. Those thumbs can go 200 mph. But the second I text her and call her about an ice pack, she never got the texts or missed calls because she had no service in that part of the house. At this point, I just feel like I'm ranting, but I'm not trying to. I have really given it my all with this relationship, especially because of the children involved. But at what point do I just give up? This feels like an appropriate time. Thoughts? I'm so confused how her pain would be at a 12 from not smoking dabs. Problem number 1: dating an addict. Do yourself a favor, and don't do that mistake again. Call your family and let them know your girlfriend left you. She's 23 with kids and she's run out not only on you, but the kids too. She's not fit to be a mother. If the kids are yours, call an attorney and see what you can do to get sole custody. Having to get a hip replacement at 28, that's awful. I wish you a speedy recovery. You just had major surgery. Your girlfriend walked out on you because she threw a tantrum because she has no weed. And you want to stay with her? Wake up, please. You deserve someone who will take care of you, especially in this instance. Do you really want to keep dealing with this? Please think about it. I wish you a speedy and easy recovery. Dude, I smoke a lot of weed. I take a lot of dabs. I do not have withdrawals from weed. I, 20 male, got my girlfriend, 23 female, pregnant. Hello. First time poster here. I recently, as the title states it, got my girlfriend pregnant. She is currently on the pill, and the one time we had unprotected sex is probably the culprit for this situation, which if it is, I take the blame completely. If important, I have met her parents like she has mine and both families are content with ourselves being together, and although we've been dating for 6 months, had our ups and downs, we've always had excellent communication skills between each other. I'm aware we've only been dating for a short month, however I'm positive this is the woman I plan spending the rest of my life with. We've spoken about our options in terms of abortion and keeping it. It's barely around the first or second week yet we found out about it 2 days ago. My girlfriend is a graduated marketing major, actively seeking a job. And myself, I am still in school following software engineering, going into my junior year with an internship at GE as a software engineer in the spring. My girlfriend is set on keeping it, and to which I am not opposed, although I prefer not to due to the financial aspect and me coming from an unplanned pregnancy myself, and I wouldn't want that on my child. I've told her that in the end, I respect her decision as it is not my body, and I'm completely supportive of her own decision. And whatever the outcome is, she can count on me to stay. Because she gave me the option to leave as she doesn't want to ruin all the plans and dreams I have. To which I responded with the obvious, that's out of the question. To which she smiled at me shivering and thanked me. Although we will be seeing a doctor to get confirmation and also get some advice, I am aware my life will get 10x harder with a child. My anxiety comes with the explanation to parents, both mine and hers. And everything about what could happen and if I won't be able to provide a life worth living. But it's the explanation to my parents that I got my girlfriend pregnant on complete accident despite precautions being taken. I'm scared my parents will not accept her and disapprove of us immediately and vice versa with her parents. Or to make terms simpler, I'm scared of the outcome of breaking the news to them. Thank you in advance. In all honesty, a part of me smiles at the thought of having a mini-us, as I know it is my girlfriend's biggest dream to become a mom. But at the same time I feel completely lost, possibly because I'm a junior in college and I feel like I am not capable. Does anybody have any similar experiences, or have any advice on going about the situation? Two unprepared people who barely know each other having a kid. Man facepalming light skin tone. Getting pregnant while on the pill and using condoms simultaneously is extremely unlikely. I'd recommend a paternity test. If the baby is yours, it's very likely she lied about taking the pill and/or sabotaged your condoms. The scenario isn't adding up. DNA test for sure. You only had unprotected sex once and she was supposedly on the pill. In the big scheme of things you hardly know her. Make sure the kid is yours before you sacrifice the rest of your life. And the one time we had unprotected sex is probably the culprit for this situation, which if it is, I take the blame completely. So you're both responsible here, not just you. She willingly had unprotected sex with you. So you're not, solely, at fault here. Good luck. It's sad that your girlfriend wants to put her career on a pause for 18 and she surely paid a ton for a degree she will never use. He, 25 male, just confessed to cheating on me, 28 female, and I am broken. We've been together for a bit over a year. 3 months ago he confessed he'd lost feelings for me but that not everything was gone and we could still work through it. He'd been a bit more distant I guess but nothing worrying. A couple of weeks go by and he confessed to a woman being in love with him. He'd been working for her and long story short today he told me they had sex once. I had been suspicious trying to get him to block her everywhere to keep her away from him. She's much older than him and I had the feeling she knew what she wanted from him. I am not trying to excuse him here, but I'm trying to understand what led him to be stupid enough to actually have sex with her. After that she obviously wanted to keep in touch with him. And knowing that he wanted to stay in a relationship with me because he loves me, she used that against him saying she'd tell me. So she did text me but then deleted the message and when I asked my boyfriend if he knew what that was all about, he told me everything. I don't know what to do. I moved cities for him. We've been living together for 6 months and I don't have a steady job at the moment. We had such big plans for the future. And after finding out about her and a couple of big fights, we came out of it stronger. He told me he was scared that she was going to end up telling me but he knew he had fucked up big time and there was no going back. He had been giving absolutely everything in the relationship lately. I know it's hard for him to open up because of childhood trauma. He had a very hard time and I thought he had been trying to push me away because he couldn't accept his life could just be good next to me. So up until this morning I thought every time he told me I deserve better, he was just not being confident in himself. I don't know if we can work through this. The thing is that we have a beautiful relationship and so many dreams and goals. I want him to be accountable for his actions and take responsibility but I also want him to want to fight for us. For me. I don't want him to give up. He knows how understanding I am. And I know if we work it out, the guilt will stay with him forever. But I do believe we can have a happy future as long as he's 100% transparent with me going forward. Right now he's staying at his brother's but we're both expats and I don't have any family, friends here. I feel a bit lost. I wonder if I can forgive him? He's lost his feelings, cheated and then only admitted it when he absolutely had to. IDK about you but for me that's a deal breaker. It's your call in the end, but I guarantee you'll find someone who actually likes you on top of loving you. You shouldn't have to forgive him. Don't make yourself have to worry about this for the rest of your life. Split. No one here can tell you if you can forgive him, that's all on you. If I were in your shoes, I wouldn't forgive him. You literally only found out because he got scared she would tell you. If she hadn't said anything, you would have literally never known and he probably would have kept fucking her behind her back. Which, to be honest, he might still be. He's putting his all in the relationship right now to love bomb you. He fucked up, got caught, and is now doing everything he can to cling on to the scraps left over, but that in no way means it won't happen again. I would also assume this affair has been going on for approximately 3 months or longer. Right around the time he told you he didn't love you anymore. You're absolutely foolish if you stay with him. You have made so many excuses for him in this post, it is sickening. He chose to cheat on you, and you are practically tripping over yourself blaming the other woman and just itching to sweep it all under the rug. Then when he does it again you'll act oh so surprised. Get your shit together honey, the future you imagined was never going to happen. He just brought me a pizza and I don't know what to think, say or do. He brought it and then left. I am shaking. My F23 fiances M25 graduation party for his masters might be my deal breaker. Too long did not read. Fiancé told me to not invite a family to his graduation party because their son, Jason, came out as gay. Jason and his family are invited to our wedding because he said a wedding was an us thing, compared to the graduation that was a him thing. We met in college and decided to not get married until we graduated to focus on our studies, and we have been dating for 4 years. He proposed to me during his last semester of his master's program, and he is studying to become a teacher. I graduated with my bachelor's not too long ago, but his graduation party is showing a side of him that I believe to be a deal-breaker. His graduation party will be held at his father's, who has a pretty big backyard, and many of the people from our wedding will be going. However, unlike our wedding invitation list, he said he didn't want to invite Jason, fake name, and his parents because he recently came out as gay, and that led to a conversation. Jason and his parents were invited to our wedding, so that made me ask why he didn't want them at the graduation. He said that the wedding was an us thing, and that he was willing to compromise because it was our wedding, but when it came to the graduation, he said it was a him thing because he was the one who graduated, so he didn't have to compromise, because he did the school work. When I asked what he meant by compromise, he said he'd tolerate Jason at our wedding because that's what couples do, but the graduation was about him. When I asked if he'd support potential future children that came out, he said he'd tolerate it for me, although he disagreed with it. It is my fault for not asking that question earlier before we became engaged, but he made his stance clear. He said he'd be more distant to a child that turned out to be gay and would probably let me do more of the parenting if so. He's always been a gentleman and amazing to me, but he grew up religious, parents were Christians, although he said he's not anymore. I don't think we have a future after he said he would distance himself from a child who came out and leave it to me, and I just want to ask how to tell him so. I'm thinking another conversation like we had, but I want to ask for the best way to go about it. What would be the best way to tell him that I don't think we have a future together given his stance? Do you need to sit him down in a quiet space and tell him that you can't continue in the relationship? It will be very hard and it will be painful, but it's something you have to do. The whole views don't align thing is letting him off the hook too easily. You need to tell him that you are absolutely breaking up with him because he is homophobic. Give him the actual facts. Views not aligning is a cop-out and suggests that his views aren't wrong, just different, when in fact his whole ideology is disgusting. Did he get his master's in being a giant cock? Just tell him the truth, sweetheart. You don't like bigots and homophobes, so you don't see him in your future, or just hit him with the, oh look, my ex is here. And when he looks around to find the ex, hand him a mirror, right there. This will be a painful thing but not a bad thing. Be relieved that you didn't get married before you found out. Be absolutely thrilled that you didn't have a child yet. Not only in case that child is gay but because he will raise a homophobic child. It's over, it will hurt, he won't think you're rational. It's over though. You're too good and moral a person for anything else.